day 137 of Zohar Pshat. I'm going to go back a bit to the Pshat in the Hiru Bay Shaba Asvan. After the Avir became Or. So this is from the end of the paragraph on page 9 of a base. 3, 6, 9, 12 lines up. So we spot near Bay, this light spread. Near Bay Sheva Asvan Alpha Besa. 7 letters Al base, illuminated. Like a shoe, they didn't get firm, but not v'lachimein. They're still moist. Now, yesterday we said that maybe the name, maybe we said the name of the fortune that's Chagas Nahim. It's not necessarily so. It's the letters of Al base had to come out in 3 batches of 7, 1 batch of 8. No, 2 batches of 7, 1 batch of 8. 14 and 8 is 22. So each batch that comes out is still insufficient. So that's why it's loikushu v'lachin name habu. So his batch near Beis Sheba Asvan Alpha Beis of like tissue, they were not firm. V'lachimu they're moist. Nafach choshach lebasar. So darkness came out because evidently there were. They were not enough to illuminate. So therefore, the Nafku Bay, out of this darkness came Sheva Asvan Achron, Dalva Besa. V'luakrishu v'kaimu lachim, and they were not firm and they were still moist. Then Nafik Rakia. Now it's not the Rakia of the second day of creation. We're talking about still the first day of creation. The Afrish Machlokis the train Citrin. That set aside the machlokas of the 2 sides, which is a fascinating concept. So evidently there had to be a separation between right and left. There's always a separation between chesed and gvura, and 7. I'm not sure what the 7 letters are, which represent chesed, which 7 letters represent gvura, but they were 2 sides, and they had to be separated. They could not be working in unison yet because only 7 and 7. You need the last batch, which is the 8th, to change that. Nafku Bay, and they're merged, I guess, through this rakia, to the kind of like the pipeline. Tamnaya Asfat Achrin, the last 8 letters, Kidein Chabez, and now we're up to 22 letters. Dogu, Sheva Asan High Sitra, Sheva the High Sitra. So the 7 of this side and the 7 of that side jumped. Bizgalfu Kuluba Rakia. And they all merged in that Rakia. So obviously these 8 letters, which came out last, and probably because they're 8, so they can transcend nature, so they can actually unite the 7 on this side and 7 on that side, and fuse them together into one coherent entity. And that's the 22 letters of the Alef-Beis, which is now a unit. They all engraved in that rakia. They were moist still. But then that rakia became firm, dry. And the letters also became firm, dry. Baglimu, and they took on their form. And they took I guess they had substance, and they took and they took their forms. And there was the Torah was engraved there, that it should now shine out. All this is obviously in the Or. The He Or, and the He Or do Kel Gadol. Kodesh Baruch Hu, His greatness. That's a secret which comes from the Abir Kadmah. Like we say in the first Baruch Shemona, say Kel Elyon, before the things divide up, right? Vayhi Raza the Cheshech. So the Vayhi is the secret evidently of the darkness, which immediately comes. Always have this interchange of, it says He or Vayi or. there was this interchange of light and darkness, which is the way way things work here. But he says here in the Tzutze Oros that Vayhi is Gematria Kel. So uh, the not sure what to make of that. But Vayi Raza the Cheshech the Ikre Elokim. The he says the he says here in the Tzitzari references the Gemara Megillah by he as a lashon tsar. So like by he b'meach Hashverosh. So by he is Raza the Cheshech Dikre Elokim. So it's a darkness Elokim, which is not in the same madrega as Kel, right? Or the skalo smola de mina, the light where it comes left and right included included in each other. In other words, skalo yibson b'yamina, like it says, you're supposed to daven. Even though I'm lefty and I resent this, so it's daven with your left hand and your right hand, right? So evidently the Kel it was the or which embraced Elokim, or it does embrace Elokim, and it's got some amino kadei miraz and the Kel havi Elokim iskalo yamina besmalo smola biyamina. Works both ways, evidently, not just one way. So in any event, the or is corresponds to the name Kel, which is just the highest name in the manifestation, because it just represents pure strength. Elokim is Baal Kochos Kulam, which corresponds to darkness because they are different Kochos, including dark Kochos, which are necessary for the world to exist. By dark, I don't mean to Tameh Kochos, I mean things where there's din and such like. So at this point, you have the Kel, Elokim, and you have now, above all, the 22 letters which make and the Torah. So all this is the or, and then we have the name Kel and Elokim. We'll see if that becomes important in the next part, but that's this part which we did today.